Thank you for that wonderful introduction. By way of introduction, I want to introduce our panelists, these wonderful folks who've decided to come out today and help us with the rocket pitch. We have Victoria Rock from Victoria Legal and Corporate Services. We have Dr. Tiffany Sanders. Hold your applause until the end. We have Dr. Tiffany Sanders from Sanders and Associates, and we have Daryl Tolbert. He's one of our executive business advisors with the 10,000 Small Business Program. Please applause. Okay, so to start us off, what we want to do is to create some context for today's segment. We want to go ahead and have Daryl talk to you a bit further about the 10,000 Small Business Program, what it is, what we do, and how you might eventually be a part of it. Daryl?
So what is the 10,000 Small Businesses Program? So this is a program that is free, and this program is actually designed to help you and your business. It has two objectives. The first objective is to show you how to grow your revenues, and the second objective is, as you grow your revenues, to hire more people. And that's it. This program was created and is funded by Goldman Sachs. It's actually the Goldman Sachs Foundation. And they have created this program to train 10,000 businesses across the U.S. 10,000 Small Businesses actually was an outgrowth of another program they had. They successfully completed a program to train 10,000 women around the world to create and operate their own businesses. So let's get into 10,000 Small Businesses. There are four component parts. The first part is a practical business education. The second part is one-on-one business advisement. The third part is access to capital, and the fourth part is a robust alumni. Okay, so let's talk about the practical business education. What it includes are interactive sessions on topics like how to read and construct financial statements, how to create a vision for your business, okay, and how to identify the kind of leader you are. Okay, how many of you have taken leadership training before? Okay. Good, good. What we talk about is how to take your leadership style and understand how it is either helping or hindering you in your business. Okay. The program, in addition to that, has clinics as well as other aspects of the classroom. Program lasts about 4 months. Typically, you'll be in class about 1 day every other week on average. The second part is one-on-one business advisement. I'm a business advisor, so everyone who is accepted into the program is assigned a business advisor. And you talk to your business advisor at least once a week about items associated with your business growth or general business problems. Free. The third part is access to capital. For those who are part of the program who believe they need capital, we work with community development financial institutions to allow you to apply for funding if you need it while you're in the program. And the last part is the alumni. We have graduated almost 250 businesses from the program since we started in January of 2012. And as a result of that, we have a robust alumni. We typically have at least 3 alumni events a year. And that allows alumni to get together, to network, and also the alumni sessions are content-filled, so you can continue to learn even after you graduate from the program. Okay. So, one important aspect of 10,000 Small Businesses is learning how to effectively, efficiently, and compellingly pitch your business at a given moment. So, Rashid's going to actually talk to you a little bit more about that aspect of the program. Rashid?
All right, thank you, Daryl. I appreciate that. So I hope that you guys didn't come out today hoping for some type of instructional situation where you can just sit back as a passive audience and have us talk to you and you can absorb all that wonderful knowledge and then go after it's all over. With that being said, it's not going to be that. So what I'm going to ask you now to do is to take out a pen or a pencil, whatever you like. I mean, I know we have technology nowadays, so maybe I'm dating myself by even referencing a pen or pencil. But we want you to take some notes, right? Based on what you're going to learn today. This is an interactive experience. And so at the very least, and with the program, you have to understand the program lasts for a few months. Okay, so over several weeks, we do quite a bit. It's very engaging, and there's a lot of effort put forward into the program. What you put in the program is what you'll get out of the program. We don't have that sort of time horizon to work with right here today. However, we still want to put you in a position to take something away from today. Not just words, but actually something that can add value to your experience today. And so again, if you give us what you have to give today, we guarantee that you'll leave with something more. Can we agree to do that? Can we agree to do that? Look, I know you guys are a bit sated because you had that wonderful meal inside of you, but we have to come to life. Let's make this work, all right? All right, so first thing, if I had to describe what a rocket pitch is, Rashid's version of that description would be a short form presentation that's meant to either inform and or persuade an entity to engage with you in your business. Right? And the way that we do it in the 10,000 Small Business Program and in the learning modules that I have purview over, we look to engage a funder. Okay? And so we do a finance rocket pitch in our module 8, which is the Being Bankable module. Okay? We're all about trying to position our scholars to get their hands on the money that will be the lubricant for their growth aspirations. All right? And so just to give you a couple of perspectives, again, from my vantage point about this rocket pitch idea, from the macro perspective, if we're talking about a rocket pitch, really it accomplishes two goals. The first is that it gives you, or you give the audience, some past perspective of who you are, and then you also want to give them some present state analysis of who you are. Okay? Now, you want to do that in short form, which is why we call it a rocket pitch. Right? And so you want to as quickly as possible and as effectively as possible, as Daryl mentioned in the term effectively, compelling, and efficient. When we talk about effect, we want you to effectively be able to motivate exactly why that audience member should engage with you. Why should they listen? Why should they spend their time giving you a proper audience? Okay? The next part of that is looking forward. Is to provide some future perspective about what that audience member can expect from you. All right? And so you have to condition that future state. In other words, you have to sell to them that the future is something that they can expect based upon everything that you present to them in that pitch. And again, all of this has to be done in a relatively short amount of time. The micro version of the story is something that we can speak to here in more tangible form in our outline. And so when I conduct Module 8, before we actually conduct the module, we give them, our scholars, an outline, right? And this is only one permutation of an outline of how a scholar might potentially go about the process of organizing their rocket pitch. But this outline seems to be pretty effective. And as you can see on this particular outline, it does speak to a method of timing. So for instance, the very first step that you see is about the past and the present state. And so for that audience member, that entity that you want to engage and hopefully persuade to fund you, you have to talk to them about who you are and what your business is. How much time do you have to do that? 20 seconds. Right? So the law of economy is very real. You have to, in 20 seconds, tell them about you. And we're talking years and multiple hours of you being involved with your business and going through experience that condition your present state in the world, in the marketplace, right? But you have to be able to convey those sentiments and contextualize this presentation in 20 seconds, right? And once you do that, though, well, it's all about the future at that point. Because the next thing you want to do is you want to be able to speak to the growth opportunity that you've identified. So you want to be able to spell out in very specific form the growth opportunity that you've identified that either currently exists or will exist in the near future. And then you want to talk about the strategy that you're going to formulate to take advantage of that growth opportunity. Okay? Now, again, in the program, what tends to happen is we spend an entire day, several hours, and a lot of homework actually drilling down deeply into the identification of that growth opportunity. Okay? And so by the time you get to the point where you put forth this rocket pitch, you should already have a pretty tangible understanding, a very detailed understanding about what that growth opportunity is. As I said, you want to talk about the strategy that you're going to use to realize that particular opportunity, to make it come to fruition. And we want you to be as detailed as possible when you do that. Okay? Again, more detail is better, especially when you're trying to convince someone to give you funding. The next thing you see here is specific plans to create growth and value from this opportunity. And that speaks to this this notion or idea, and really steps 4 and 5 can be interchangeable, right? The idea is that you have to be able to convince the funder, your audience, that there will be an increased revenue stream that comes out of your realizing this growth opportunity. And you have to be as detailed as possible. If you're going to take on, let's just say, for instance, 10 new jobs a month, then you have to talk about how much you're going to be able to take on from those 10 jobs. It's $50 per job. Do you have to articulate that each month I'm going to bring in $500 more over the course of a year? That's going to be, what, $6,000? Right? You have to be very specific about the revenue projections that you put forward. The next thing, though, is where you want to talk about what it's going to cost you to put yourself in that position to earn those revenues, right? So then you have to talk about, okay, in order to reach this revenue projection, I'm going to have to augment my operations. I'm going to have to expand my marketing reach. And to do that, I'm going to have to spend an additional $2,000 that I really don't have right now, which is why I'm coming to you, Mr. Funder or Mrs. Funder. Right. Now, you can change those two around, right? You can go ahead and talk about the expenses that you're going to take on in order to reach that growth strategy, and then talk about revenue, or you can do it the other way. The thing that we definitely emphasize with our scholars, our business owners, is that we want you to tailor this presentation to fit your needs. And so, of course, that's not going to look the same for everyone. And so you have wiggle room to be able to adjust this particular schedule. And the last thing we tell our scholars to do is to talk about how it's going to impact the local community. Right? Again, you want to be able to talk about how many new jobs are going to be created, which is the main impetus behind the 10,000 Small Business Program. You want to talk about how it might increase the efficacy of a community, how aesthetically it might make a community look more beautiful. Whatever that looks like, you want to be able to include that in your analysis as well. So just to drill down a little deeper, what we typically do is we go through an outline, and again, in very focused form. You see, we jump into step 2. Again, the history part is something that you have to tailor. Right? You have to be able to speak to it in a way that's going to be compelling. You know your history better than anyone else. So you have to be able to tell that story effectively and efficiently within 20 to 30 seconds. Right? But then after that, we want you to go into the identification of the opportunity, excuse me. And if you see on the board here on the PowerPoint, I hope everyone can see pretty well, the example that we use, the hypothetical case that we use, is a power washing company. Right, a company that will clean the external parts of a property or some type of residential property so that it's more appealing to a potential buyer. So this power washing company might engage with home sellers so that they can provide their services and, of course, help home sellers be able to more effectively participate in that transaction. Okay, so when we talk about the opportunity, again, you can read for yourself. It's never good to read a PowerPoint. But nevertheless, that's spelled out in very clear form. If you read that paragraph, again, trust me, you'll be able to read it in less than 20 seconds. At the bottom, you'll see a caption there. This should connect to your opportunity statement, Module 2, your mission statement, Module 4, and your value proposition sales pitch, Module 6. Well, those are the learning modules that we execute in the program. And so by the time you get to this particular stage of the program, this is where I'm Module 8, you would have already done this work. And so it won't be a matter of you attempting to invent the wheel at that point, right, where you have to sort of figure all these things out at once. Really, it's just a matter of culling the most pertinent information from the work you've already put forward and then presenting it in a form that's going to be efficient. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, are you taking notes? Okay. All right, we'll see very soon. I'm going to test you. All right, so that's step 2. We could jump ahead to step 4. And this is where we talk about the specific plans to create growth. Okay? And so again, you can see in very detailed fashion, the marketing budget is going to be $5,000. It's going to create 10 new jobs a week, 500 new jobs a year. Revenue is going to be about $400 per job. Annual revenue is approximated there. Operating expenses is also given in very clear detailed form, right? And so one of the things that you have to do in a rocket pitch is you have to sort of cherry pick the data that's going to do the best job of elucidating the narrative that you're telling the audience, the funder in this case, right? And so you don't necessarily want this to be a financial statement. You don't necessarily want to read through your financial statement, but what you want to do is you want to use the most pertinent data to be able to bring this narrative to life. Again, you see the modules that, of course, are relevant to this particular aspect of your presentation. You then want to talk about, again, the big sort of part of the presentation, which is the ask, the part that racks all of our brains a bit. This is what I need, Mr. Funder or Mrs. Funder. And so you want to be very detailed in how you articulate what you need and what you'll be spending every dollar on. And again, you've already sort of given an indication about what that request is because you've already talked about what your marketing strategy is. But now you're simply drilling down deeper into the specifics of how much each aspect of that strategy will cost. And then you make the ask. So that means that I will need X amount of dollars from you, Mr. and Mrs. Funder. I've already told you about how I'm going to earn the revenue to pay you back. Can we move along further? And oh, by the way, I'm going to impact my local community this way, that way, or whatever way is relevant to your business. Okay, so this is just one perspective. And the one thing that I will tell you in addition to what you can see here in blue and white with a little bit of red is that you know your business, right? You know what you're asking for. You know what the future holds. I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, have thought about a growth opportunity. Typically, the problem we have in the program is not cultivating a growth opportunity. It's usually choosing the best one because most of our scholars have more than one they want to choose from. Right? And so you have to sort of figure out what is going to work best for you. And then you have to leave your imprint on the presentation. There's a Stanford lecturer by the name of Simon Sinek, and he gives this TED Talk, and it's entitled, How Do Great Leaders Inspire? And one of the things he talks about is the fact that what you have to do to engender trust in other people, to get them to believe in what you believe in, is you have to connect with them in a very visceral way. And this is very much a byproduct of how our brain functions. And so even with the funder, what you have to be able to do is find a way, the optimal way to engage with them and engender belief in them that you know what you're doing. So you have to take advantage of that opportunity, and you have to be able to bring a certain amount of energy and color to the presentation. You want them to know who you are. And this is, again, where the compelling part comes in. You have to be able to sell you. The power of your person is going to be the thing that is immeasurable, and the benefits will be innumerable, but you have to engage the funder in a very dynamic way. One of the wonderful, most esteemed graduates of our program, Dr. Tiffany Sanders, knocked him dead. Literally, I think somebody actually passed out in the presentation after you went ahead and did your rocket pitch. And so she's going to come up and give you a taste for what a successful rocket pitch looks like. Dr. Sanders.
So awesome to be here. Let me just also just give you say some positive words about our guests who are just great hosts and great teachers in the Goldman Sachs program. If you're thinking about doing the program, Rashid, Daryl, they're just awesome. They are just really, really awesome. I'm so glad that I participated. I'm so glad that I learned and was exposed to so many awesome things. So I'm going to do my pitch. I haven't done it in about a good year, but let's give it a shot. Hi, I'm Dr. Tiffany Sanders, business psychologist and owner of Diverse Business Solutions. We are an HR strategic business firm that provides specialized services with talent management, executive business coaching, organizational and leadership development. We work with small to mid-sized companies who may or may not have an HR department, but they're growing aggressively. And what they need HR business practices. Well, businesses need our help, and I'm a business psychologist, and I want to help them. But the challenge is, for me and Diverse Business Solutions, we need to let people know we exist, right? How do they know I exist? How do they know Diverse Business Solutions exist? So we need a better, robust website with good SEO optimization. We also need to be able to connect with our prospects. And to do so, we need to be on social media. We need a social media strategist who will help us. And since I love TV, I love media, catch me on WGN every now and then, I need to have new videos to upload that people can purchase and that they can learn and attend my webinars. That will bring in additional revenue for my company. Well, last thing I need another HR generalist, someone who can help me, because when I'm out there building the business, working on the business, I still need someone to help me run the business and execute some of these HR practices. Well, I'm seeking $50,000 in funding from you. Yes, you. So what will that $50,000 in funding go? Well, $10,000 will go towards my website and SEO optimization. The next $5,000 will go towards getting a CRM system, a social media system that I can keep in contact with some of my business prospects. Another $5,000 will go to a videographer. I need him to take some really good photos of my good side that will be uploaded and that I can connect with my prospects. And the last $30,000 will go towards hiring an HR journalist who can execute some of the things that I'm not able to do so I can work on my business. With that being said, $50,000, and I will pay it back monthly installments within the next 3 years. And my company has already grown over 200%. We're predicting to grow another 200%. So, who's going to fund me? The money that you give will help me to have a great impact in my community and to add jobs. Thank you so much.
So who would fund her? That's it. Come on. The leg kick should have got you. And don't ask me to do that, please. Okay.
During her presentation, her official presentation in the class, and it went over really great.
Yes.
I was never a cheerleader, but you know.
When money's involved, strange things can happen. But nevertheless, it's now time for you to do more of the same, okay? And so we have a panel here, right? We have a panel, and what we want to do is ask you to step up front and give us your pitch. Yes, I see the tension. This is not a strange look to me. We get the same thing in the mod when we ask folks to go ahead and step up and pitch. You've been taking notes. You told me you were. So now it's time for you to speak to those notes and present. So it's really about just getting over the hump of that anxiety that comes with having to present in front of people. And I'm looking out there and I'm seeing if that first person comes, it's going to be a cascade from there. I'm going to have a deluge of people who want to come up and also present. So all we need is one. Who's going to present? Who's with us? Come on. Come on down. Let's do it. All right. So first of all, who are you?
My name is Chang Fitzgerald. I'm an owner of a small consulting firm for educational business.
Excellent. Thank you, Ms. Fitzgerald. And so this is how it's going to go. We're going to give you 3 minutes. Okay, so we talked about compelling, effective, and efficient. Where the efficient part comes in, we want you to do the presentation and within 3 minutes. You can stop short, but if you go over, you're going to hear a very odd sound. Okay? So 3 minutes, right? After the 3 minutes, then you're going to get feedback from our panel. Constructive feedback. And we're not just going to, fill your head up with good things. We're going to tell you about the things you need to improve upon so you can improve upon them because we know that a rocket pitch is a living and breathing thing. You're always trying to improve upon it, okay? So we'll have about 3 minutes of feedback, and then we'll switch gears to the next presenter who's going to be emboldened to present because she's going to do such a wonderful job. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. The floor is yours.
Okay. I'm almost tempted to find out what kind of weird sound I'm going to hear. So if I'm 2.5 minutes into the presentation, give me a warning. Okay, somebody give me a warning. So start from now.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Chang Fitzgerald. I started a business 2 years ago about educational consulting. What I do is I work with a couple of local universities to help them to design and implement some programs to further help their international student body in their job search process. I studied the company because I realized a lot of universities are trying very hard to attract international students to come to bridge the tuition gap, right, between operation and the state funding. But international students face their specific challenges in finding jobs in the United States. And I realized, I will bring more value to the university if the universities have a way to further assist their graduates in successfully landing jobs and develop a viable career. So in return, they're going to bring better candidates to the school or better applicants to the school, and then they're going to contribute to the school by donation, the reputation of the school. So that's my value proposition. And so far, it has been very successful. And so I developed 3 local universities as my clients within the first year. And now I'm trying to find an online kind of platform I'm trying to build an online platform to increase my influence by reaching out to more universities. So I thought if I can build an online platform, can plug it into each university's educational system, online education system, more universities can utilize my service instead of me going to different universities to implement the program in person and to give the lectures, right? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some funding to help me to produce this online platform. I personally have some technical background, but I do need to hire technical people to help me to build the coding behind it and try to understand the interface between the platform I'm going to build and how to integrate it with the university's platform. So I'm looking at probably, it's a little bit ambitious, $200,000. But I'm looking at if I do increase my impact to 50 more universities, which is doable according to the international students in enrollment, and I will have a pretty decent return ratio. So we can go through the numbers if you're interested in investing in me, but just want to generate some interest, and we can further have further discussions. Thank you.
That was excellent, Ms. Fitzgerald. Hold on one second.
45 seconds.
Talk about being curt. That was absolutely astounding. All right, very good. Okay, but let's see how astounding it really was. Panelists, how say you?
You were very brave to start out with and be the very first person. One thing it took a long time to find out how much you were looking for and how would you pay it back. And I would say be a little more positive or confident about how much you are looking for and exactly how it would be used.
I did realize I said it's a little bit ambitious. But I
Yes.
have an ambitious plan. I should have said that, right?
And to piggyback on that, I think in the beginning, you were telling us a little bit that you're an educational consultant, and so I was waiting to hear sort of what the business idea was going to be, and so I kind of heard a lot of the background, so make it a little bit shorter and sweeter and get more to the business idea, because you don't want people to get too lost in your story, and they're not focusing on the meat of the matter, which is funding your actual business.
I too think you were very brave for getting up, but it wasn't that bad, was it? Okay, not that bad. So, first the good news. I liked how you kept your eyes on the audience. You looked from side to side. I thought that was really very good. I'm going to echo a comment from Vicki and Tiffany, and that is that I wanted to feel more energy. It's okay to bring your personality forth because you have to sell yourself, which is what Rashid said. So bring your personality forth and your enthusiasm. And also, the last thing I'd say is that you do want to tell your story, which is what you did, but you want to cut it and then get into the opportunity so that as a listener and a potential funder, I know exactly what you're doing, exactly what you want from me in terms of dollars and how you're going to pay it back. Okay.
Who's next? Love it.
Brandy.
Come on down.
Yes. I see stars.
Who are you?
My name is Brandy Dunnigan. I am the co-founder of Source Digital, incubated by IC Stars, and I'm also an IC Stars alumni.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Daryl? Go.
Hey, so hello, my name is Brandy Dunnigan. I work for Source Digital. I'm a co-founder in an incubated solution founded and run by IC Stars, which is Inner City Computer Stars, a not-for-profit foundation that has a workforce development program that develops IT superstars. We then hire those IT superstars out of workforce development in order to support our marketing business called Source Digital, where we lower customer acquisition costs for our B2B mostly and B2C clients through digital marketing. So digital marketing is kind of broad, it's new on the scene, so we work a lot in client education around how to leverage social media, how to leverage blog writing, content, marketing as an avenue against paid marketing costs like Google AdWords, LinkedIn advertisement, Facebook advertisement. There's an organic stream that we're developing and figuring out the channels that are best leveraged for our customers. In the last year, we've been able to grow to a staff of 5. I'm currently seeking funding and about $500,000 in order to be able to increase my staff size, because I have an opportunity to work with the payer organization, which is an insurance company where a large stream of work is coming my way. I need to scale to double my team size, and we only hire full-time with benefits in order to make sure that we stay mission aligned, in order to pay our staff above living wage and medical benefits, in order to stay true to our mission to develop stable young adults who are working in the IT field. We need to be able to hire them on full-time and be able to meet the needs of our customers. We can't yet accept the contract work until we hire those people on, so we're really excited about this growth opportunity. All of the revenue that comes in as a result of the funding that you all are going to grant me, thank God, will enable us to be able to hire those people on to meet the client demand. The great thing is that our markup is incredible. We'll be able to generate at least 50% return on investment for that $500,000 within 5 years. And so we can pay in increments of $100,000 a year over the course of 5 years in order to pay down that fee. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. Hopefully you enjoyed learning about my mission-aligned business, where we help people coming out of workforce development programs find careers in IT and supportive marketing.
Fantastic.
Oh, wow.
All right, efficiency is the name of the game. Okay, who's going to go first? We'll be the judge of that.
Yes.
How say you?
So another brave soul, so good job. Really appreciate learning about your business, and you seem like you're very knowledgeable of your business and your finances, so that was fantastic. I think what I would have wanted to have heard is less about the non-for-profit that brought you in, unless if you really needed to talk about the workforce development piece, that might have been critical, but it was a lot about the other organization and not enough about who you are, because you own it. Even though they're incubating you, it's not going to really make a big difference in terms of me funding you, right? I want to know what is it that your business does and how much you need and what will you do with that money and how it will impact the community. So that will be my feedback, but great job.
You getting up there and just, it was like you parked. I mean, like your confidence level, your stance was very, very confident, which was fantastic. What I would watch out for is a lot of us women have a tendency to swing up the ends of our sentences so that everything is a question. So you did a great job, but sometimes it did swing up. You did go up and down, but a lot of times you were swinging up where it's almost like a question. So you just have to watch out for that.
Good. Great job. Great job. What I would suggest you think about doing is slow down a little bit. You had plenty of time. I know you were thinking in the back of your head, oh my gosh, 3 minutes, oh my gosh. It is pretty brutal, actually. But don't worry about that. Slow down, because what you really want to happen is you want your funders to hear you clearly. They want to understand not only what you do, but they want to know about you. Because many decisions are based on not only what you present, but who they perceive you to be. It's essentially how you show up to them, okay? So just slow down, take your time. As Tiffany said, you understand your business. Focus, and I think you'll be fine. Thank you.
Can I make one more comment? If you would have listened at lunch to Charlotte, I was amazed at how she can pause and the whole room just sort of stops. And so by pausing just brings things back into that confidence level of getting people's attention. So if you can slow down a little bit and maybe even pause between, the transitions from one area to another in your speech, it makes a big difference.
Thank you so much, presenter number 2. All right, who's the third person? Do I have to go out there and pick someone? I'll do it. Oh, yeah, this is great. All right.
All right.
Front row, let's do it. Yes. Absolutely. Okay.
Thank you.
Who are you?
I am Patricia Ducano.
Okay,
Good.
you're ready. Ready,
Good afternoon. I'm Trish Ducano. I'm president and CEO and owner of a company called Securitex. Thank you for taking the time today to meet with me over the business needs. I have a proven track record. Back in 2003, when I bought into majority ownership, there was $2.2 million on the line of the owners, and I turned around, brought in a banker, and brought them back $1 million of their investment within 3 years. What we're doing differently today is we are now moving into another growth mode, and I am taking the company to the next level. And I need a capitalization number of $500,000 to do so. We have proposals that are right now today, we're winning an average of 25%, and that leads us to about $2.2 million per year. So I look to borrowing these funds for probably about 5 years, and it'll be a line of credit, so it'll swing back and forth, and we'll all have a nice day.
Thank you. I think that's a record on the timing side, huh?
1 minute and 50 seconds.
1 minute. Talk about efficient. That's right. Okay, panelists, who wants to start?
Okay, you were very confident. You know, I loved it when you put your hand almost in your pocket, like, okay, here we go. That was fantastic.
I like that you established that you have a proven track record. I think when I was hearing that, I think I got stuck with that. And I was like, well, what's the business idea? You know, it's like, it's touting our greatness without realizing they still want to get to what's the business idea. So I would say probably say one good piece and then kind of move on quickly. But I too really like that you appeared confident. I didn't even see your face, but your mannerisms from the back, you know, and you swayed and sashayed, the hand was in the back. You couldn't tell you nothing, girl. I mean, you were like emanating confidence. So that was an awesome thing to watch. Good job. Thank you.
But don't be afraid, seriously, because you know your business more than anyone else. And what the potential funder wants to know is that not only do you know it, but you're confident that you know it. You talked about how much money you needed, which I thought was really very good. I thought your pacing was good. You weren't too fast, clearly, because you had the fastest time. But overall, good, very good. Just work on the the issue of looking at the audience and focusing. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate the feedback.
Thank you again. I think we have time for one more presenter. Kelly is telling me we do have time, so this is your last chance. Don't make me be a liar. Cascade. Oh, we have two. Okay, I'm sorry. She's walking towards me as we speak, so she wins. All right. Yes. Whenever you're ready.
Ready.
Go.
Hi, I'm Sarah Thurber, and what the world needs now is creative thinking. Think about it. Technology and machines can answer all the questions that have one answer, but only humans can answer questions that have lots of answers. And many of us have not been trained in our work or in our schools to do that. I have a company called Foresight that has developed a platform for teaching creative thinking. We teach it to teams and organizations. We teach it to Google and NASA and Disney. And what we do is commercialize the research from the International Center for Studies in Creativity. There are things to know about how to be creative. I myself have a Master of Science in Creativity. Who knew? What we need as a business to grow this platform and to share these skills with businesses around the world is $200,000 to build a practitioner platform. We have an excellent website. We're an online business. And what we need is a way to draw in potential users of our assessment and our tools so that they can start a practice and teach to teams and coach to individuals and spread this message across the world. So for $200,000, I can build the platform, I can market the platform, and I can take this message to the people who need it most. Thanks.
Excellent work.
125, you are the leader.
Oh my goodness. Tremendous on efficiency, please.
Nothing like adrenaline.
great thing. You were very efficient. I was able to sequentially follow your story. Just as a funder, I would want to know how would you pay me back, and over the amount of time would you be paying me back, and then what will be the impact of your company in terms of creative thinking.
Again, your confidence level was right there. I think you grabbed the hearts of the people almost immediately. Your hand gestures, everything was straight, it seemed like straight from the heart. And so it was a great job.
You owned the room. You did. From raising your hand and jumping up and running to the front. You owned it. And seriously, that's important. It's funny, but it's also really important because it shows confidence. And then when you begin to speak, you start with a joke. And that tended to relax everyone. And so what is clear to me that is your personality, and that I'd be really willing to talk to you as a funder because I feel that not only do you know your business, but you're confident about it and you own it. Good job.
That was really fun.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Daryl hit upon a really important point, and that is, as I said before, you have to engage these human beings so that they can be engaged with you, right? You have to be able to put out what you want to give back. And so we can talk for days about an outline, about things that are articulated in black and white. You know your data, you know your business, but this is showtime. When it's time to engage this audience member, this funder, who you want to compel to engage in this funding relationship with you, then you have to put your best forward. You have to make certain that if it's a well-placed joke, you do it. But more than anything else, you have to make certain that your energy levels are high so you can engage that person so that they are left with a wonderful impression of you. We have final words from our panelists about what you just bear witness to. Daryl, you want to start?
So whenever you get up to do a pitch, be confident, be focused, relax, give us yourself. Let us know who you are. Open up a little bit. It's okay, because funders are people too, okay?
I would say practice, practice, practice. Practice the night before, practice in your car. Just because you want to be able to speak with ease and confidence because you know the material, because you would have practiced. So it's clear that everyone has done this at least once before, so they knew their material. But I would just say before you go meet with that funder, just practice, practice, practice in front of a friend, in front of a mirror, in front of somebody who, if they wanted to be an investor, so they can give you that feedback, and just practice.
Ditto on everything. It is a lot about practice, and it is about really reaching outside of yourself in order to let people know that you have a beating heart. As one of my friends say, it's one beating heart to another beating heart. And that, our lives and our businesses, we don't want them to be transactional. It's about creating relationships. And so what you want to do is really create a relationship with those funders. Reach out to them. Don't be intimidated by them. Have them hear your story and have them feel your story. And that is a lot through the hand gestures, through the eye contact, through all your body language and, your gestures. So just go with it and have a good time.
Thank you, panelists. Tremendous job. We want to take a moment to give you a further overview of the program in terms of the components of the program and some very important dates that you want to be mindful of. So Daryl's going to talk to you a little bit about that very quickly. And then we'll open up the floor for questions. So if you have questions, kind of hold them for now. In like 2-3 minutes, we'll go ahead and give you an opportunity to ask those. Hold on one second.
Okay, very briefly. We run about 3 cohorts every year. The next cohort is actually beginning in January. Think of it as winter, spring, and fall. Kind of want to break out into the song now. Winter, spring, summer, and fall. Our next cohort starts on the 9th of January. The application deadline is the 20th of October. Please feel free to visit our table out on the floor in the exhibit area to get more information about the program. You can also go to our website, because at the website you'll be able to see the specific modules. There are 9 modules You'll see the titles of the modules and the dates of the modules. And also there's a really interesting video online at the website, and I'll give you that website in a moment, that gives you a feel for what it's like to be in the classroom. You'll see actual students going through the process. Because sometimes when you hear about a program, it's difficult to know whether or not you'd fit. But you'll get a chance to see exactly what it's like. So again, go visit our table and join us. We'd love to have you. The website is www.ccc.edu/smallbiz. SMALBIZ. Okay. Rashid?
Excellent. Thank you so much, Daryl. Do you need that again? Can we have the address again?
Sure. It's www.ccc.edu/smallbiz.